it. Alright, this happens a couple times in the game, is they send enemies just to shoot arrows at you, and then leave. If you get them on the screen, a lot of times they'll just die from a couple hits. That happens in the desert, most notably. Yeah, mounted units in this game are ridiculously overpowered. You only get them a couple times. This is probably the best one. Most useful, at least. Because at this point in the game, you're really not that strong, and these archer guys can totally fuck your day up. There's an owl back there. And there's a buried leaf right here, which is a weapon a lot of people don't know about. You don't have the shovel yet, and a lot of people don't come back to here. Pro tip, if you are on a mounted unit and you get shot off and you want to get back on, using the double A attack is a really good way of doing that, because it knocks them off and puts you on at the same move. So, as you can see, the Hawk, ridiculously overpowered. Gives me health on every kill, gives me experience on every kill. So the weapon I'm using gives me crits, which is really good in this game. Crits are like really overpowered. Yeah, my last couple characters have not had great magic. Which is interesting because all the 4 main characters have excellent magic. Like, they're all kind of OP in their own way. And if I could shoot one more fucking arrow, I swear to God. If I get too annoyed by the arrows, you can just come over here and the hay bale usually protects you from some arrows. He's kind of got that over there. Floating deer, I love you. Here's another little mini wall that protects you. That's the big thing in this game, is getting spammed is just so annoying. But, I might have to run home and switch my weapon. I really should have checked it when I was there with the blacksmith, but as it is, I did not. One of the most annoying enemies in the game right here. Obviously not this screen, but for the boss fight coming up. especially on insane mode. What you kind of find is they can hit really, really quickly, and their attacks stun lock, and there's a billion of them. So if you start getting hit, you're basically fucked. Like, there's not much you can do. AoE is really great, but as you might notice, I don't really have any AoE except for hacking and slashing. So my build with this guy is probably going to be full defense and then full strength, because his magic's really not worth doing anything with. So juggling in this game really strong. You can also do things like this, where I need a guy. Oh, I missed it. You get thrown off the cliff. Escape, my friends. Escape! I have one health potion. Let's do it. So this is a great fight for grinding because you get experience per hit, and as you will no doubt remember, there are a hell of a lot of these little guys. You really don't want to put your back to that barn door there, because they can be behind you really easily in there. I think sometimes some come out of there, because I've had runs where I have my back there, nothing's gotten past me, yet like things come from behind me. So you know, this boss is like mostly trivial if you actually focus on the boss. But in general, I'm trying to grind a little bit on this boss. Because again, this is a great boss for it. Even with high-level characters, it's fun. You can just juggle and swipe at these guys. You get some decent money. I mean, not as good as Random Barbarian boss, probably. Yeah, see this guy behind him there. The other benefit of sitting over here is that they walk into the fire pretty often, and the fire does hurt them. They just walk right into it. It's called good AI. So I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about it, but so the AI in this game has like two modes, if you will. It's engaged and disengaged. If they're engaged, they'll walk kind of slowly and try to be on the same level with you. If disengaged, they kind of diagonally walk around the screen. Oh no, it's a scary thing. Usually player 2 gets a poopy deer, so that's why it's fun to have a 2-player game. So you're like, oh, poopy deer. This section's pretty easy. I mean, the first time you do it, you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm so scared. But it's really not bad. If you watch the other computer deer, it's like the best you can do, because they will show you where all the doors are. And you can move horizontally while in the air, so you can make some pretty long jumps. So if you just kind of jump whenever you see a log and then just move horizontally. Fine. Yeah, they show me where the doors are. Pretty easy. You get achievement actually for doing this perfectly. Oh, you can't go too far back because you hit the whatever the fuck that is. And I think that might be it. The end of this level. Ooh, the double jump, too hard. Pretty sure Poopy Deer just got smashed. Yeah. Every time this jump, you do a funny thing. Oh yeah, like that. I'll be right back. So, obviously already huge dumping points into defense. Like I said, with the Hawk you level up really quickly, and you get 2 experience points per level at low levels. So right now I'm using this one. The only reason I can use it even though I'm under 15 is because I'm it's an unlock character and they get cool weapons to start, which is nice. So the ideal weapon for me is a weapon that has minus strength, and this one's got plus defense. This is an option. You might think, why would you want a weapon that decreases your strength? It's like, well, the reason you want that is because, again, you get more experience the less damage you do, basically. So, this is a really good weapon in general. It's good, it gives you bonus to magic, and that's usually great. This is a decent weapon, but it's okay. There are a lot of weapons that are like, oh, this is pretty good, but then they're so outclassed by other weapons. It's like, oh, well, there's no point in using it. This is a pretty decent weapon actually. That I might switch to. If you like a Jaleel. This is one of the best weapons in the game. Basically anything with crits is like really good. This is a leaf I showed you before. And these are the 2 weapons those little trolls are using. This is like a pretty... It's one of the joke weapons, but it's still kind of decent just because it gives you crits, which means you can do serious damage sometimes. My problem, see, lobster is pretty funny. My problem is that I'm not quite level 10, so it's not the best time. Like, this is one of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. The 7 defense is so big, like, I can't even stress it. This is an unlocked weapon you have to actually, like, not buy with money, but buy with in-game money. This is the best starting weapon in the game. Technically, it's actually good up until 15 and maybe 20. Honestly, it's still like a really viable weapon if you're trying to like kill things. The issue is if your goal is not to do that, if your goal is to grind levels really quickly, then this is not a good weapon for that. It's still good for survivability, for your speed, little archery bonus early, strength. This is not really good. And this is a weapon I was using for a while on my main character, but I don't know, it's really not great. No crits, that's a big problem. Crits is so strong. This is actually tempting, but I don't think I'm gonna do it.